Welcome. We all have ambitions, these big ideas and dreams about who we want to be and what we want to do. But the real question is, how do you actually make them happen? Well, today, we're going to break down a super practical roadmap that does exactly that.
Does this feel familiar? I mean, we've all been there, right? You start out super motivated, totally on fire for a new goal, but then life happens, and that amazing drive just fizzles out. It's honestly so frustrating, but what if I told you there was a really simple way to change that? So what's the big secret? Get this. According to expert Victoria Brown, you are 72%, that's a huge number, 72% more likely to achieve your goals just by doing one tiny thing, writing them down. That's it. You don't need any fancy software or an expensive coach, just the simple act of taking a thought and making it real on paper.
Okay, so before we jump into the how-to, let's just make sure we're all on the same page about what a goal even is. Because really, understanding what we're aiming for is the first step to actually getting there.
Life coach Victoria Brown gives us this amazing definition. A goal isn't just an item on a to-do list, It's a vision. It's about who you see yourself becoming. It's that space between where you are right now and where you truly want to be.
So why does all this matter so much? Well, think about it. Without goals, we're kind of just drifting, aren't we? Goals are the engine. They're what drives us to grow, both personally and in our careers.
And this metaphor just perfectly illustrates the point. Imagine you're in a room just throwing darts randomly at a wall. It's pointless, right? But the second you hang up a dartboard, a clear target, suddenly every single throw has a purpose. Your goals, well, they're your personal dartboard.
All right, now for the main event. We're going to unpack a proven 7-step framework from the legendary Zig Ziglar. Seriously, think of this as your personal blueprint for turning any dream into an actual success story.
Step 1, and this one is so important, is all about clarity. You have to know exactly what you're aiming for. You see, vague goals like get healthy are basically a recipe for failure because you never really know if you've made it. Clarity is your superpower here, and the best way to find it is with the SMART framework.
What this framework does is it forces you to be really honest with yourself. Is your goal specific enough to picture? Can you actually measure your progress? Is it, realistic for your life right now? And maybe the most important question, does this goal truly matter to you? Answering these transforms a fuzzy wish into a rock-solid plan.
Once you have a super clear what, the next step is to nail down your why. I want you to write down every single good thing that will happen when you achieve this goal. And this isn't just some feel-good exercise, okay? This list is your fuel. Because when your motivation starts to fade, and trust me, it will, your why is what's going to drag you across that finish line.
Okay, this next step might feel a little weird, a little counterintuitive, but it is absolutely crucial. For just a minute, I want you to think like a pessimist. What could go wrong? What's going to get in your way? By figuring out these roadblocks now, you can plan for them so they don't completely derail you later. Let's take this digital detox example. The obstacles are totally real and valid, right? I need my computer for work, my phone is how I talk to my friends. The point isn't to see these and give up, it's to troubleshoot. Could you use an app to block distracting websites? Could you schedule actual phone calls instead of just scrolling? See, it's all about proactive problem solving.
So once you know what's standing in your way, you can figure out what you need to learn. What new skills do you need to pick up? Who do you need to become to achieve this? Maybe it's learning a new program or taking a class. This isn't just a to-do list, it's a plan for investing in yourself.
And that brings us to step 5, which is one of my favorites. You do not have to do this alone. Think about it. Who can help you? Who's already in your corner? Who's already done what you're trying to do? Make a list of mentors, friends, or groups that can support you, because success is almost never a solo mission.
And author Roger Osorio just nails it with this quote. Collaboration isn't just about getting a pat on the back. It's strategic. It's about creating these win-win situations where you can tap into other people's knowledge, their resources, and their networks to get where you're going way faster.
All right, this is where the rubber meets the road. You're going to create a step-by-step list of every single thing you need to do. But you also got to remember what Mike Tyson said. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. Your plan is a starting point. It's a map, but it's not set in stone. Be ready to adapt.
When you look at your plan like this, it turns a giant, scary goal into a bunch of small, manageable steps. Your only job for today is to take that very first action. That's it. And then tomorrow, you just take the next one. Simple as that.
And finally, step 7. This is what gives your plan some teeth. A goal without a deadline? Well, it's really just a dream, isn't it? A deadline creates a healthy sense of urgency and focus. And hey, it's not about being perfect. If you miss it, you don't quit. You just set a new one, and you keep moving forward.
Okay, so you have the 7-step roadmap. Now let's add some rocket fuel. We're going to layer on some incredible pro tips from the experts to make absolutely sure you stick with it.
The experts all seem to agree on a few key things. First, make it personal. This has to be your goal, not something you think you should want. Second, focus. Pick one major goal at a time to avoid getting completely overwhelmed. And third, track your progress. Seriously, seeing how far you've already come is one of the best motivators out there.
Oh, I love this. It's so powerful. So many of us wait around thinking, I'll start when I feel more confident. But that's completely backward. Confidence isn't something you need to start, it's something you earn by starting. Action has to come first. Confidence will follow.
So, we've covered the why, the how, and the pro tips. Let's wrap this all up and figure out what you can do right now, like today. If you forget everything else from this, please remember these 3 things. Number 1, write it down. It dramatically increases your chances. Number 2, use the 7-step roadmap to give your goals some structure. And number 3, take that first small step, especially if you don't feel ready.
And that brings us to the final, and honestly, the most important question of all. Not what you'll do tomorrow or next week. What is one tiny thing, one small step you can take today to move toward that goal you really care about? Because your journey starts right now.